Have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Jackson, what did we watch this week?
Yeah, as Tara was alluding to with his little jingle there, we watched the 1994 dark comedy Mixed Nuts. And I guess, Tanner, you can lead us off with what the fuck this movie's about.
Damn, I wanted to do the Godzilla vs. Kong.
Nico, tell us about Mixed Nuts.
Mixed Nuts. Mixed Nuts is there's like nothing to really say about the fucking plot of this movie. Mixed
It
Nuts
is just kind of bits, one after the other.
Yeah, exactly. Mixed Nuts is about a fucking suicide hotline on Christmas Day. And fucking Joe Pesci or whatever this guy's name is, he's running the thing, and he's got this woman who he's real into, and over the course of the movie, I don't know, like a murder happens, and
hilarity ensues.
They kill their landlord, who's trying to evict them.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
Guys, this is a comedy? Ha 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 ha! I'm ready for the ranks.
I have to give my haiku, guys. Here's my haiku, as inspired by Mixed Nuts. Please don't kill yourself. This movie is so funny. The critics are wrong! So, as I allude to in that haiku, this movie has been fucking eviscerated in the reviews.
Yeah, which might be why our patron picked it.
Yeah, that is why he picked it. He hasn't seen this movie, so he thought it was some dog shit he could show us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if your guys' thoughts have evolved, but I think you're on my side in saying this is a legitimately funny movie, and the reviews from both critics and audiences are just wrong.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie enough, you know, it's a pretty decent comedy, and yeah, the fucking discourse around it seems to be like way too much.
Yeah, I can't explain it other than to say, like, these people just don't get it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it just because Adam
Sandler, get him out of here. We don't want him in a movie. Anything he's touched has been tainted.
I was gonna say, is it like just because a lot of people don't like him, or...
He's like,
I
he's
doubt
not
that's
even that
the crux of their argument.
Yeah, he's not even that bad in it, really. Like, he gets kind of annoying a couple parts, but he's also funny a couple parts. I think he's equally funny and annoying.
Yeah, and he's not like one of the main characters anyways, really.
Yeah, and he kisses Liev Schreiber dressed as a woman.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the trans representation in this movie, boy. Like, I could see how, like, if this movie came out today, that would be, like, the big thing that causes people to hate it, but, like, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like it was handled super poorly here at all, like...
I've seen much worse.
Exactly.
Especially for the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, you know, obviously, I'm not trans or anything like that, but... Yet.
Prove it.
But... I feel like it was handled decently respectfully here, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the joke is, this is a man dressed as a woman, and he's very tall and kind of deep voice. So yes, they're going to make jokes about that, but they don't really... Like, the characters aren't calling him a him the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
They're not, like, acting as if he is a man, really.
Yeah.
Just a manly woman. Yeah, I think we're running into the classic comedy problem where it's like, how do I review this movie without saying I thought it was funny?
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny, too. I thought it was hilarious. I thought a lot of the jokes were really good, especially a lot of the stuff around, you know, the suicide hotline. That's just an inherently great premise for dark humor.
Yeah.
Like, that guy fucking shoots himself. That was funny. You know, the pervert coming up on the phone, which, you know, predictable joke, sure, but it's still fucking funny to see it. There were very few jokes that did not land with me, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like the funniest part of this movie is just watching you really bust a gut throughout the whole thing.
He was going fucking crazy throughout, like, the entire movie.
Yeah.
What can I say? It was funny, guys.
I guess I'll offer the opposite take. Not necessarily opposite. I still think this movie has some funny bits in it, but honestly, I think it was pretty fucking generic for me.
Generic?
Yeah. I don't think it really did a ton, like, interesting with, like, the way it presented itself. The script was pretty uninspired. I do like the setup with the comedy around the suicide hotline thing. I think that's clever, but that's all the movie really had that was, like, super interesting for me, to be honest. Characters are all kind of, to me. Some of the comedy was funny. A lot of it was unfunny to me. I'm pretty mid on this movie, to be completely honest. I think it's okay. I'm not very high on it.
I think you're kind of crazy for calling this generic. I think this is very unique.
Well, you know,
generic probably isn't the right word for it. I think it's a pretty average comedy, is maybe what I should say.
In fairness, though, I believe that if you look at our rankings for comedy movies, Jackson pretty consistently is like the lowest scoring on them. I think the only real outlier in that is Happiness, where Dylan is just off the rails with it, but...
I'm not a huge comedy guy. There has to be a really specific type of it for me to be super into it.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Blake? How'd you like this one?
I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of checked all the boxes as far as like a dark comedy goes.
Happy to hear it, dude. With that said, what do you feel like you're going to be ranking it, man?
This is your first ranked movie ever. Prepare yourself for this.
I'm going to give it a B+.
Well, all right then. Jackson, how about you, dude?
Oh, I gave it a C.
Yeah, I'm thinking like B- for me. Tanner, how about you?
I'm giving it an A+. I think this is on par with Happiness.
Hot damn. I vehemently disagree, but c'est la vie. And then, what the fuck did Dylan give it?
He gave it a B-. Wait, so we've got C for me, Nika, you gave it a B-. Tanner gave it an A+, Dylan gave it a B-, and then Blake gave it a B+.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay, cool. And with that, the overall ranking is a flat B, which is a lot better than the 15% I had on Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, for sure.
This movie got lambasted.
It literally is incomprehensible to me. I'm reading these reviews, I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about? What movie did they watch?
Maybe the humor just aged really well, and this type of shit wasn't funny back in the early, or like, yeah, I guess like the mid-90s, and now in the 2020s, you know, it's pretty silly.
Let me see. Happiness came out in 1998. It has a very similar tone of humor. Let me see how that one got reviewed when it came out. This one's sitting at, on Rotten Tomatoes. Right? Come on, fucking load. See, this one's sitting at an 83. And I don't think the 4 years difference between these two would have suddenly had, like, this sense of humor, like, come in vogue, I don't think, right?
They're both dark comedies, but I feel like Happiness is a vastly different type of dark comedy than that. At least for me.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I think Happiness has a lot more interesting things in this movie.
Yeah, 100%.
I disagree. Let me put it this way. I'm never going to show Happiness to anyone I know. I absolutely will show this movie to people I know.
I feel like there are big reasons as to why that is, though. Happiness tackles significantly darker themes than this movie does.
Does it?
I would definitely show Happiness to somebody. I think Happiness is funny just because of how fucking absurd it is. This movie is just like a dark comedy. But maybe it would make it easier to show to somebody, but I don't think it's nearly as interesting.
But give me a quick synopsis of Happiness. I haven't seen that one yet.
There's a dad and he loves his younger son.
Like too much?
Oh yeah. He like rapes his friend.
Actually, not enough.
And that's just one of like the 4 concurrent plot lines in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck you, the critics.
Yeah, fuck the critics. We're the only good critics out there. Believe everything we have to say.
Thank you.